ACC scoring leader. And we are set to go. Carolina at 15-3. The Demon Deacons at 13-5. Opening tip, batted out. We've got a good crew here. Roger Ayers, Ron Groover, and Bert Smith. That's a Final Four level crew officiating this game.
It absolutely is. And for a big game, when you consider these two teams right at the top of the ACC going at it on our first big Monday of the season, what else would we have here other than this crew?
Exactly right. North Carolina will get their first crack at it. Number 3 in the country. The Tar Heels moving up 1 spot in the AP poll late this afternoon. That is behind both UConn and Purdue. Ryan will kick. Here's Davis with the first one on the way and too strong.
Great execution. Hubert Davis talked about what they wanted on their first look and shooting on today. They got their best player, and R.J. Davis with a wide open look is unable to knock it down.
Big guy Reed will hand off to Boopy Miller. Sallis handling it here. 18 points a game, and he'll knock down the first one.
And he is a legit scorer when you talk about the ACC scoring leaders. Hunter Sallis right at the top.
And North Carolina, their starting lineup, it'll be Davis and Bacot leading the way. Experienced, focused team, this North Carolina group. Harrison Ingram is the glue guy on a team that really plays well together.
They really do. Great chemistry from this North Carolina team. Even Steve Forbes talked about that's the first thing that he saw watching film on Carolina is how great these guys play together and get along.
Hard backing down, going in strong. Bacot came over to harass him, and it's going to be out of play off the Demon Deacons. And look at their starting lineup. That includes Sallis, Miller, and Hildreth. They can all make three-pointers. So can Carr, all 38% or better. Reed is a 7-footer with a lot of energy. His Ingram straight on, but that won't drop.
It will be 80% of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons starting lineup transfers. Only Cameron Hildreth started his career at Wake. Steve Forbes has done a great job identifying guys in the portal that fit into their system.
He said, I think part of it is people like me. I've been coaching for a long time. I know a lot of guys. I know a lot of coaches, a lot of people in the game, and I haven't made a lot of enemies. 8 seconds left on the clock. Hildreth on the drive. Kind of a wild shot off balance. Shot clock was winding down. Ingram kicks it out. Ryan off the fake. A two-pointer coming. And knocks that down. North Carolina on the board.
Smart play by Cormac Ryan. Did a great job running him off the line, but the one dribble pull-up to get to his spot. We'll see the basketball go through for the first time for the Heels.
Ryan getting about 11 points a game, 25-year-old. We talk about an experienced team. North Carolina oozes that. Here's Carr. He can make 40% beyond the three-point line. Back out for Miller. Shot clock to 5. Boopy Miller trying to make a move. Here's a triple. And rebounded by Cormac Ryan.
One of the things you don't see is anyone from Wake Forest going to the glass. That's how much they fear North Carolina in transition.
Davis with a quick step on the reverse. Talk about a quick step.
Yeah, and too easy to allow the ACC's leading scorer to get an easy bucket like that to get his confidence going. You want to make R.J. Davis work for everything.
Sallis working hard in the paint. He's got 4 quick points. Steady score. He had 20 against Utah and Virginia Tech, 21 against Virginia and BC. On the drive, the freshman, Cadeau can't finish it, and it'll be knocked out of play by North Carolina. We're talking about Steve Forbes, 4th year at the helm for the Demon Deacons. 19 wins last season was not enough to reach the NCAA tournament. Hubert Davis, year number 3 for the Tar Heels. Team getting 83 points a game. They've been one of the top offensive teams in the country most of the season.
And Obi, both these coaches surprisingly very relaxed in their shoot-arounds today. Had a lot of conversation with us talking, but of course the tensions raised once you get to this point.
Reed on Bacot, hooks it short. Ingram with the board.
It's a matchup we'll be watching all night. Both guys from Richmond, Virginia have a past and history with each other, know each other very well. So seeing the two of them going at it here today, making a lot of people in the 804 proud.
Davis back out for Bacot way downtown. That's certainly not his game. Tied at 4 in the early minutes. Sallis 40% out there, but no. They're coming off making 18 threes against Louisville. 18.
But Steve Forbes made it clear we cannot fall in love with that, especially against North Carolina, simply because those long misses lead to fast break opportunities.
Bacot batted toward the lane. Bacot had it for a moment, got it free. Here's Davis, who's great on the fake, but can't connect.
And that's what Efton Reed has brought to this Wake Forest team, averaging close to 9 rebounds per game on the season. And they are a much better team since he became eligible December 5th because he mans the glass and mans the paint for them, gives them rim protection. Also a guy that can knock down a jumper as well.
At 14 rebounds against Rutgers, 14 against Boston College. He attacks the glass. He's going to shoot a long one here. And both teams chilly beyond that three-point line early on. North Carolina defends that line so well. Ingram really went into Reed, who commits the personal foul. He attacked the 7-footer.
He absolutely did. Went to the 7-footer's chest. Did a great job being aggressive in transition as Harrison Ingram.
So a 4-4 tie. Tar Heels toughening up on defense. They are playing D. More on that when we come back. 4-4 game after the first timeout as we bring in Angel Gray. Angel, for years it was rebound and go. That fast break for North Carolina.
Absolutely. Well, right now the Tar Heels are on an 8-game win streak, and it's mainly because not just their effectiveness on the offensive end, but their connectedness on the defensive end, and that's something that was instilled in them before the season. Actually, Coach Davis had his team watch a documentary that was titled A Journey to a Title, and Doc Rivers talked about what that needed to be in the playbook. There, Kevin Garnett stated, I was where I was supposed to be because someone was where they needed to be. If we're going to win, that's how we have to win. With the 4th best defensive efficiency in the country, guys, it really does look like the Tar Heels are bought in.
How about this, Corey? Last 2 games, North Carolina has not allowed a fast break point.
And that's really just paying attention to the scouting report, but also the effort and the energy that's required to be a great defensive team. Hubert Davis is getting that from his group right now. And these guys are locked in defensively. They've heard enough about how you don't play defense at North Carolina. These guys have set out to change that narrative on how they're looking.
They're cold shooting it in these first 5, that's for sure. Nearly thrown away. Trimble there on the baseline. Looked to save it, and it was over the line. So it'll be Wake's ball.
And here's just a little bit of evidence of how great they are defensively. You see Cormac Ryan fighting under the screen, getting back in front of his defender. Great individual one-on-one defense, but this is where it gets better. R.J. Davis stays in the passing lane. The switch, Harrison Ingram not even allowing an easy look on that possession.
Andrew Carr working on Bacot. Parker Fredrickson into the ball game now. He'll get it up. The shot clock expires. Well, that was on cue. Talking about the D.
It absolutely is. And again, there was no one from Wake Forest who even knew that they were low on the shot clock. But North Carolina was still in his stance down. I mean, Steve Forbes knew. He's not happy about that. But no one else was paying attention to it. But North Carolina was locked in defensively, would continue to guard it past the shot clock.
7 opponents. ACC play. 70 points or fewer. Here's Ryan. Got a good look, but that clangs away. He's still having trouble with the 3-point shot. 29% beyond the 3-point line. Carolina 0 for 6 from 3-point land so far.
It's a little chilly in the building, though. It's a little colder in here. I knew they were expecting a big crowd. Oftentimes, in today's day, I guess you don't turn the heat up when you know you're going to have a big crowd, 20,000 people. Sure. In the Dean Dome. Watch this one.
And on for Hildreth, 6'4" junior from Worthing, England. Gets into the painted area, got it downstairs, and a late whistle, no basket, a foul on the play. As we take a look at how Wake is doing on the road, brought to you by Hampton, by Hilton. As Carr gets to the line. Now, one thing they do, be it at home or on the road, is make their foul shots. Look at that, 80% at home, 84% on the road. They are the #1 foul shooting team in the conference, #2 in the country.
And that's such a luxury to have as a coach with Steve Forbes. And you look at this graphic, Wake Forest is 11-0 on the season at home. And so you look at the ability to be able to go to free throw line. Of course, we talk about it, and Andrew Carr misses one. I'm going to blame that on you, Obi. I'm not going to take the responsibility.
Davis pulls up mid-range, no. So right away, R.J. Davis with a cold start. Hildreth looking to get a pass off, and it's tipped away, stolen by Carolina.
That's great hands by Armando Bacot, stripping the basketball and then being able to chase it down after Ryan loses it. But that's just an example, once again, of the energy and effort paid on the defensive end of the floor.
Jay Davis shoveling that one up there, and he's got 4. And North Carolina in front by 1. On a high post Carr. Sallis trying to get into it offensively and can't sink that jump shot.
But the difference with Sallis getting into the painted area that time, he's going up against Seth Trimble, who's a much larger defender, so it makes it more difficult for him to make that shot.
He's on the line there and draws the foul. Jalen Withers gets hit. 6'9" grad who's really been playing well, particularly the last 3 games. He's averaging 11 points per game coming off the bench. Draws the foul from Carr. That'll be his first.
And Jalen Withers was an absolute difference maker against his former team, the Louisville Cardinals, on this floor 2 games ago. You see the numbers, 11.3 points per game, only 3.6. But one of the things that Hubert Davis has talked about is he's fit in from a personality standpoint. Doesn't complain about minutes. He doesn't just does the best with what he can.
Ryan gets another good look. It won't fall for him. Miller wants to push it. Talk about fast, and Ryan was equal to the task and batted it away to prevent fast break points.
Yeah, Cormac Ryan did a great job getting back defensively, but got a good look on the offensive end. A shot that he would normally make, unable to get it going. And for Ryan, this is his 6th year in college. He's an experienced player. He's going to continue to work hard on the defensive end of the floor, do all the other things to help his team win, and eventually shots will fall.
He's 25 years old. Dallas finds the lane to the left hand for 2.
I was looking forward to Hunter, giving me a little bit more of a... But Jalen Washington actually steps on the line and turns it over. So give Hunter Sallis a lot of credit for, after getting the layup, he ran back on the floor denying the basketball coming in. You see Sallis. I was waiting for the highlight. He doesn't dunk it, but he does a great job here coming back in, denying R.J. Davis, forcing Jalen Washington to step on the line, a turnover for the Tar Heels.
Ron Gruber right there to make the call. 12:46 to go here the first half at Chapel Hill. Miller looking to get it in, and they do get a timeout. See a difficulty finding somebody open. So we'll take the break for 30. Wake Forest by a point here in Chapel Hill.
Next season.
We talked earlier about the relationship between Armando Bacot and Efton Reed III, and you're talking about 2 big guys from the city of Richmond going at it. Bacot winning that battle, forcing the stop, but you get the opportunity to see these 2 guys on the floor way back in the day where Armando was a 17 and under player, as well as Efton 15 and under, even though Efton was taller and still is at the time. But these 2 guys had an opportunity to work a lot with each other. A lot of talent coming out of the Richmond, Virginia area. And these are just 2 of the examples of those guys on the floor here tonight.
As you know very well, Fredrickson into the paint. Davis sticking right on his hip. I hesitated to say, looking at that photo, back when they were little, because that never happened. Sallis going in strong, but that's going to be a travel on Hunter Sallis. That's 3 turnovers for them already.
Yeah, absolutely. Back when they were little, these 2 guys never little, to say the least. Efton at 6'11" now, probably 6'9" then. Armando at 6'10" now, maybe 6'8" at that time. But these 2 guys are special talents.
Davis, beautiful pass and a slam by Washington. So that'll help the shooting percentages.
But Obi, that's where R.J. Davis is much improved this year. Everybody talks about the scoring numbers. He's always been able to score. He's a much better playmaker this season than he's been in the past.
Showing a lot of leadership, too, this Carolina group. Miller gets himself an open look and swishes it in. Comes in averaging 17 and also 4 assists per game. First name Kevin, likes to go by Boopy, which is a family nickname that passed down through the ages. Davis going in strong, and it rolls in. I made that. It's impressive.
Yeah, very impressive concentration by R.J. Davis attacking the basket.
Miller lost it, got it back. Good save there on the side by Monsanto. Mario Monsanto, they just got him back. He's a very dangerous 3-point guy. Fredrickson, tough shot, and hits it from 3-point distance.
And that's one of those ones, all you can do is look at him and say, good shot, pat him on the back and keep going. That was good defense by Taylor Withers, just great offense.
Davis off the window, very sweetly for uses the glass so effectively.
He does, but what we're seeing right now, Wake Forest playing drop coverage and pick and roll action. And when you got a guy like R.J. Davis who's great in the mid-range, he's going to take advantage of that. It'll be interesting to see if Steve Forbes sticks with that the entire game.
He's harassing Miller, who stops. Needs help, gets it back outside here for Frederickson. Forbes has called him. He's out of Oklahoma, maybe the best shooter he's ever recruited. Now North Carolina trying to grab the lead. Davis, full head of steam, will draw the foul. Keller reaching it. 10:43 to go here in the first half. An ode to T-Dog on the farm. Explain that when we come back. Can't reconcile T-Dog with Tara Vanderveer. Having covered her for years, as much as I admire her, but one of the great coaches of all time. Ingram gets it downstairs and tied up on the play. Possession arrow will go to the other end. Angel, as a player, did you have a victory against the great Tara Vanderveer?
We did. So one of those wins isn't against us. We actually had a really big upset in the NCAA tournament to go to the program's first Sweet 16. So we upset them on their floor. However, we revere her. So let me just say congrats are in order. It's so awesome to not only witness history, but to know that you have a story that connects us with her as well.
How about Angel, the consummate team player? The first thing she said was, "We did." Because you know, I would say, "Yeah, I beat her. I won that game."
Yeah, I count Angel, that as a personal win. Yeah. Right. No.
Angel immediately, "Yes, we did. We did." She and her teammates at Florida State.
Sallis leaning in, drops in another one. The junior from Omaha, Nebraska. McDonald's All-American, and went to Gonzaga and on to Wake Forest.
Another one of those transfers that Steve Forbes has identified perfectly to fit into their program at Wake Forest. And one of the things that Coach Forbes talked to us about, I mean, again, you know, at Wake Forest, you don't have the same pool as everyone else because of the academic restrictions to get into Wake Forest. To start with that, but also in Winston-Salem, they don't have online classes. So if you've taken online classes and you want to transfer in, you're not getting those credits. And when you look at it from that standpoint, that limits a lot of the pool of potential players that he could have coming in. But he needs guys that will come in and are willing to do the work academically.
And
can do the work and fit also into their program.
Sure. Withers makes the first, and coming up next on ESPN, it'll be Kansas hosting Cincinnati at Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas at the moment number 7. North Carolina has jumped up a notch to number 3. And this one tied at 14. Miller will bring it up, the point guard from Chicago.
A lot of people in the building recognizing this is a scary game for them simply because they understand what Wake Forest can do from an offensive standpoint. This young man, Hunter Sallis, 4 of 6 from the field. The rest of the team only 2 for 9. He's been the guy thus far.
7-footer Reed, body to body with Baycott, but no. Elliot Cadeau, the freshman point guard, and when tipped out of play, he's been so steady. He had a bad mistake against Kentucky at the end. Since then, more maturity game by game, and really a calm influence out there for one so young.
Yeah, and wasn't a starter to begin the season, but you look at his last 4 games, averaging 7.5 points per game, but more importantly, it's the 4.3 assists per game. He's the guy that gets North Carolina into their offense, gets the guys the basketball when they need it, and in the right spot.
Ingram wants to work, got himself some room and banked it in. That's a pretty play. His first bucket. And here comes the crowd, really for the first time tonight, as North Carolina starts to make some shots. Miller going around the back, working on the rookie, flips it up, tough angle, no. Cadeau wants to push it. I think Ingram likes this matchup, kicks it out for Withers. Withers draws the foul with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half here at the Smith Center. Carr will pick up his second foul. And now Ken Palm ranking Carolina number 7 nationally in the all-important net. And you look at the teams that Hubert Davis's team has been up against: Tennessee, UConn, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Clemson. Remember they faced Oklahoma when they were unbeaten and hung a first loss on them.
I believe that's the game that started the winning streak for North Carolina. Now in the midst of an 8-game winning streak. Had their biggest win over Charleston Southern in the Hubert Davis era, 45-point win here on the home floor. And then getting into ACC play, won 3 straight road games, not allowing over 60 points in either of those games. And that's really what started what's been a great beginning of the ACC season for the Tar Heels.
Nice hand for Jalen Withers. Coming off the floor. 4 points. He comes in. He has an impact.
He absolutely does. And he's doing a great job with the minutes that he gets.
Wojcik will reach around and commit the foul. And so 8:19 to go here in the half. And Wake to check it in from the side.
Paxton Wojcik getting some minutes early. That's another one of the things with this North Carolina team is different. Hubert Davis going much deeper into his rotation, playing 9 to 10 guys on a normal basis.
Miller. Cadeau on him. Slams on the brakes, leans in. Great job by Cadeau to stay home and not commit a foul. And now turns it into a fast break bucket. It's an 8-0 run. Carolina opening up a 20-14 advantage. Demon Deacons can answer quickly offensively, but not here. Big rebound by Ingram. He's been great on the glass, particularly in ACC play. A leaner and a banker by Cadeau. And Wake needs a timeout.
Cadeau with back-to-back buckets. And Wake Forest got to stop the bleeding, the timeout. How do you get the attention of your guys when it's loud in the building? Well, Jason Shea, assistant coach, he's got the whistle to get their attention. Up with the stop and turning his defense into offense, attacking the body of Andrew Carr for the finish. And on the next possession, once again, attacking the 10, soft off the glass, able to finish it in the midst of a 10-0 run for North Carolina.
North Carolina's hit 6 shots in a row. Freshman out of West Orange, New Jersey. Reclassified so he could play ACC preseason Rookie of the Year. As we mentioned, the improvement is so noticeable. And I've called a bunch of Carolina games, and every time he plays, he does something better than he did the game before. So we'll see if Wake has an answer. They have had an answer against most people this season, coming in 13-5 and scoring 81 points a game. Sallis has been their top scorer. He'll kick it here for Reed in the corner. Much too strong.
Yeah, you talk about Wake Forest coming in, scoring 81 points per game. Right now with 14. Oh, nice five.
Wojcik on the baseline, but blocked, and Hildreth comes away with it. Demon Deacons will run when they get the opportunity, but North Carolina's been getting back so effectively, not just tonight.
Yeah, they absolutely have, and the interstate is clogged up.
Nicely done.
It would have to be, and I'm not sure if it's I-40 or it's 85, which one it is, but whichever one gets you to the Dean Dome from Winston-Salem, it's been clogged thus far. Coach Steve Forbes likes to refer to the open space as the interstate. Once you get amongst that three-point line,
yeah, no speed limit, right?
Yeah.
Cadeau left that one a bit short. Sallis, Wojcik bumping with him, no whistle there, and that'll fall.
That's elite level scoring right there from Sallis. And one thing that he didn't do, even through the contact, he never said, okay, I'm guilty, you're going to call a foul one way or the other. He said, hey, I've got an opportunity to get a bucket. Let me do it. Back-to-back baskets for the Demon Deacons coming out of the timeout.
Sallis with 10. Davis leans in, no. And a whistle, that'll go the other way. That's going to be on North Carolina. A look at that interstate. No speed limit there for a while.
Absolutely no speed limit at all. When you catch it, you're driving down the floor. However, Steve Forbes wants his team, once they get into the city, that urban driving area where it's 35 miles per hour, you got to slow it down a little bit. And then, of course, once you get in the school zone, because OB kids are playing, you got to make sure that you take your time and you see once they get into the urban zone, Hunter Sallis able to make a play off the bounce and finish it with the easy bucket.
Kids are playing. Wojcik just picked up his second foul. He'll be batted away. Ingram trying to deny on Andrew Carr, and he'll pick up number 1. 22-18, North Carolina, 5:41 to go in the first half.
North Carolina has clogged up the interstate in this game. However, over the last couple of possessions, you've seen the Demon Deacons be able to operate very well in the school zone. So Steve Forbes has to be happy with the way his team has come out of the timeout.
Coaches go to work too there. Davis, no, too strong.
Just like that, the Demon Deacons with the opportunity to tie or take a lead on this possession.
Sallis gives it up here for Miller. He's 38% beyond the three-point line. Not many of those made yet tonight by either side. Here's Ingram. Ryan to drive it, swooping in, and a follow by Bacot.
But that may as well be an assist, because when you've got both big guys coming over to block your shot, your goal is to get it high enough on the glass so that your teammate, Armando Bacot, one of the best offensive rebounders the ACC has ever seen, is able to clean it up.
Best rebounder, at least in terms of the stats that Carolina's ever had. He's a 2,000-point scorer. Shot clock down to 11. Hildreth getting inside and banks it in. It can be a tough cover.
He absolutely can. And if there is one drawback to this North Carolina team defensively, they're small in the backcourt with Davis and Cadeau on the floor together. And we have seen Hunter Sallis and now Cameron Hildreth both take advantage of it.
Keeps on driving and will lay it in. That opened up beautifully for him. He has half a dozen.
Well, that's the way Cadeau gets back. Again, if you post me up, that's fine, but I'm going to go past you on this other end of the floor.
Hildreth averaging 15 points a game. At 25 against Florida State, so he can fill it. Here's Miller. Shot clock at 7. Now down to 5. Long one by Carr, but short. And a whistle. And a foul on the play. In the act of shooting a 3. That one's on Cadeau. 26-22. The Demon Deacons have been a different team since the timeout.
Immediate reaction from the crowd here at the Dean Dome. As you see, Cormac Ryan getting it high off the glass. That was just a pass, OB, and Elliot Cadeau. This is a little bit of road running right here. Beat, beat, as he gets it to the rim. Hold up, Jay. Now again, between the two of us, between me and Jay Williams, who didn't play defense, he is definitely winning that battle. But Coach Greenberg is right. This is the way Carolina played when they were national champions in 1993, the last time that a Carolina team won this many games by double digits. Digits is what we're seeing right now from these Carolina Tar Heels. But give Wake Forest a lot of credit for the way that they have hung around in this first half. Neither team has shot the basketball very well.
Well, we mentioned it early. I mean, put them at the line, they make them. Carr hit the act of attempting a 3, makes them all, so it's a 1-point game. Neither side is making any threes. There's been one made 3, and that was by North Carolina. Wake Forest, the team that really relies on it oftentimes, are 0 for 7.
Obi, I can't believe my guy Jay Will try to go at me like that. Knowing that he played 0 defense. But Jay Will talking about R.J. Davis as one of the best players in the country. And you have to give Wake Forest a lot of credit. They've kind of held R.J. in check throughout this one. He's been able to play in space through that drop coverage that Steve Forbes told us. But he said pregame he's going to make some shots. But we'd rather him have to make tough twos in comparison to giving him those threes. And North Carolina yet to make a 3 in this game.
8 points for him so far. The Super Tuesday matchups both at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Number 15, Oklahoma and Texas. And in the ACC, it's FSU squaring off against Syracuse. You can always watch them on the ESPN app as well.
How about the job Leonard Hamilton and his staff have done?
That's been said before.
It has been said before, but I tell you what, it's different this year. After their non-conference, I don't think anyone would be expecting them to be 5-2 in the ACC right now, especially with the wins that they've gotten thus far.
Reed looking inside. The 7-footer gives it up here for Sallis. Making a move here, and he is held up and fouled. Cormac Ryan trying to stay with him. Not an easy task on Sallis. And it's time for a 1-and-1. He's averaging 18 points a game, one of the better scorers in the conference. And the 6'5" junior with 10 points.
It's absolutely a slap in the face. That's what you have to do when a guy's going to go get a bucket on you. Make sure you slow him down.
One way to do it. And another one coming for a guy who hits 80%, exactly what Wake Forest does as a team. 80% at the line. They have losses to Florida State and NC State in conference play. ACC wins over Miami, Virginia Tech, BC, Virginia, and Louisville. Carolina by 2. Bryant. Under 3 minutes to go in half number 1. Davis off for Baycott. We'll see if he can get more involved. Couldn't get that one to drop. He only has 2 points. Monsanto.
Great job by Cormac Ryan getting out there, not allowing Monsanto to get a 3. He's a knockdown shooter, 4 of 6 in his return against Louisville last time out.
Whippy Miller kicks outside. Sallis again. Long one coming. And too strong. RJ trying to work. Right through that defense. Down it goes.
He's made a living in the paint thus far. North Carolina with the advantage of points in the paint. R.J. Davis has been the main culprit.
Crowd back in it. Hubert Davis slapping his hands loudly on the sideline to get them up again. Here's Monsanto. Yes, sir. A 3-pointer.
We talked about his shooting prowess. His first game played this season after tearing his patella tendon at NC State a year ago. First game out, 4 of 6 from beyond the 3-point arc against Louisville on Saturday.
Little floater here, and that'll drop. R.J. Davis, they're really getting on his back. A lot of the other shooters have not been able to hit yet.
But it's by design, and Steve Forbes wants to play drop coverage against R.J. Davis to force him to score in the 2-point range and not allow for their shooters to get going and for those guys to get open looks.
R.J. with 12. Sallis, a reach in by Davis, nearly pucked it free. Here's Monsanto again, and another one. He stares into the crowd here at Chapel Hill like, you guys can't stop me.
No, and when he gets looks like that, you can pretty much count them for the Demon Deacons, and that 3 ties the game at 32.
So we're under a minute. Whipped here for Withers. And now Wake Forest with an opportunity to gain the lead here. And Damari Monsanto just came back for his first game in almost a year, coming back from a really bad knee injury. Has hit a couple of big threes. Miller going around the back. Let's see if they find him again. Hildreth with a pull-up. Sinks it. Our 10th lead change here in the first half. But Wake Forest in front at Chapel Hill. Davis, top scorer in the ACC. Shot clock inside 10. Down to 7. Davis on the drive. Going in strong and denied by Reed. And a whistle on the play.
Damari Monsanto knocking down back-to-back 3s. As he turns, it just has a little glance. Nothing said. Just a little look to the Tar Heel faithful here in the building. Back-to-back 3s to tie the score. And then Cameron Hill is getting in the mid-range to take the lead. R.J. Davis with a chance to tie it back up with 5.6. And OB, this is a time where R.J. Davis can't get bored with scoring 2s. As you see R.J. getting into the painted area, but that's what Wake Forest is going to give him. So he can't get bored with scoring 2s. If that's what they're going to give you, if you have to shoot it every time, then that's what he needs to do to help his team win. There are certain games where he's going to have to make passes. He had a 10-assist game to be successful. But this one, he may have to score 30 points and do the majority of it in that Carolina blue.
Boy, he just doesn't miss at the foul line. He just missed the front end. And gets that one. 5.6. Chance for a heave here from Miller across midcourt. Going to get a look here, but can't hit it. And that's it. First half comes to an end with Wake Forest looking to spring the upset tonight.
30 plus for his team to be able to win. When you see how Wake Forest is guarding him, the drop ball coverage on the screen and roll, he's going to have to continue to shoot the basketball as many times as he can. Turns it over on the first possession.
Miller trying to drive it past Cadeau with a little turnaround. Not there. Ingram with a big rebound. He has 7 already. Cormac Ryan leans in. A lot of iron, and it pops out.
Now here's the issue with if R.J. Davis has to take things into his own hands to make plays, other guys feel like they get left out. And for North Carolina, they've got to understand that, hey, this may be a game that he has to do that, and you can't just go taking uncharacteristic shots because you're not getting the basketball.
And Reed banging away, and the hook goes over the head of Armando Bacot. He only has 2 points, but that's also the case with Bacot.
And they've allowed both these guys to play one-on-one throughout the entire game. No help in the post, just allowing them to go at each other. And neither's had much success on the offensive end thus far.
Miller up top for Hildreth. Sallis on the spin. Reed will swing it. Hildreth to the baseline. Slams on the brakes. It's a shot he can hit, but not this time. Davis wants to sprint. RJ all the way through. One of the quickest guys in college basketball is 15.
But that's too easy. That's one thing Steve Forbes does not want to allow R.J. Davis to get easy looks in transition.
We can't believe he was called for a foul there.
But when you're playing against North Carolina, they run off of misses and they run off of makes. And this is too easy for the ACC's lead scorer to be able to get to the rim. And Efton Reed with the free throw, with the rebound, helping his guy out. Cam Hildreth, a little falling out of bounds, a little off balance right there. Efton just helping hand to his brother right there, taking care of him.
Sallis makes 80% at the line, has 12 points. Crowd howling. They did not think that Davis committed a foul. Thought that was a clean pick. Ingram with the rebound. Wake Forest looking for an upset tonight.
OB Wake Forest 6 of 9 from the free throw line. We mentioned earlier 84% on the road for them.
Leaning in off the window. Harrison Ingram, who comes in averaging 13 and 8. 4 points so far tonight. Had a 19 rebound earlier this season against NC State on the road.
One of the things that you've talked about in many North Carolina games is how Harrison Ingram makes a play offensively or defensively. That time he picks up the foul. But how Ingram normally makes a play when his team needs him most. We saw that on the last possession on the offensive end of the floor. We've talked about how Steve Forbes has brought guys in that fit so well into their program. How about Harrison Ingram and what he's brought to this North Carolina program?
Ingram is second foul. North Carolina top dog in the conference, a perfect 7-0, but Wake Forest quietly has moved up to that number 2 rung, a 3-way tie with NC State and Florida State all at 5-2.
And I would say that Wake Forest and Florida State both surprising to be in this group.
39-37. Cadeau looking for space, and yes, sir. They'll lay it in, give him 8.
But you can see that North Carolina is intent on attacking the basket, making plays at the rim, not settling on the perimeter for long jump shots when this is what Wake Forest is trying to force them to take.
Nice feed there. Sallis can't finish it. Rebound tipped out high. Here comes Cadeau. Look at this. Just a blur to lay it in. Freshman with 10. What a quick strike. Miller with a kick. Here's Carr. No from 3-point land. Long for Bacot. Batted it away from him, and a loose ball that'll be scooped up by the Demon Deacons.
It was a great play by Hilder getting back in transition.
Sallis with a jumper, way short. Rebound stuffed in by Reed. Came right to him, and it's tied at 41.
Offensive rebounding, that's something that you rarely see against North Carolina. That time Reed able to get inside position as Baycott was on the other end of the floor trying to get back.
A frenetic start to this second half. Ingram out of the double. Ryan will swing it. Here's Davis for a triple. And finally, say the North Carolina fans, he has 18. The handoff for Sallis. Pull-up jumper. Air-mailed it. Cadeau finding Davis. Another three on the way. Well, they couldn't buy one in the first half. Different story in the second. Miller. And they whistle on the play. Ryan thought he had played tight defense and maybe forced to travel, but it's a whistle for a foul.
But this is exactly what Steve Forbes did not want. North Carolina playing in for transition. Elliot Cadeau finding his way to the rim and then rotating to the wrong guys, leaving the right guy with an opportunity to knock down not one, but 2 threes back-to-back for the ACC's leading scorer.
The chance to watch basketball in Dickie V's own home as Wake Forest comes out of timeout. Hildreth with the bucket, 47-43. Carolina's caught fire. They made their last 6 shots.
Yeah, and Dickie V, of course, on the call as Marcus Page was able to go high off the glass against Louisville. And the shout out to the late, great Stuart Scott, University of North Carolina alum, representing the Booyah.
Davis going down after making a shot. With 15:08 to go here in the second half.
Get a look at Marcus Page, who has now joined the North Carolina staff this season. And Marcus Page, a great player, now director of team and player development at UNC, made 299 three-point field goals. But Marcus Page and Joel Berry in the backcourt together is what made Hubert Davis fall in love with playing 2 point guards at the same time. So now when you look at R.J. Davis and Elliot Cadeau, that originated with Roy Williams going with Marcus Page and Joel Berry. That team, of course, went to the national championship game, lost to Villanova, won it the next year in 2017.
16th consecutive game with multiple three-pointers for Davis. You said a couple of times in the first half he may have to get 30 tonight. He has 24.
Well, and when you see that whose record he broke, that actually was part of that same team. Justin Jackson in 2017, that was a national championship team, made multiple threes in a game 15 times. So R.J. Davis breaking the record here with those last 2 threes.
Baycott strong, and he'll draw the foul. Haven't called that number 5 for Carolina very often tonight. He hasn't been very involved offensively. North Carolina by 5, 50-45 as they try to win their 9th consecutive game. Last one 9 in a row in 2017. 6 of those came in the NCAA tournament, en route to winning the national title. And Baycott will sink number 1. Second annual NBA Rivals Week begins Wednesday. Katie and the Suns taking on Luka and the Mavs at 8:30. That's on ABC. And the Spurs taking on OKC at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. NBA Countdown tipping off your coverage at 7 on ESPN.
An opportunity
for Armando
to see the Phoenix Suns, who are coming off of a Devin Booker 52-point game and Kevin Durant with 40 last night. The big 3 of the Suns starting to take shape. Bradley Beal back on the floor. Then, of course, get a chance to see Victor Wembanyama, who has been as good as advertised. By the way, you know that jersey number 1 that he wears for San Antonio? I wore that first.
Oh, you did? Big seller.
Yeah, big seller now.
9 on the shot clock and a foul here against North Carolina. And they're howling at that personal. That'll go against Jalen Withers, number 2. 14-14 to play. Low-scoring game. That's unlike both of these teams.
But a low-scoring game for these two teams is a regular scoring game for many teams throughout college basketball.
Hildreth had to alter the shot when he got airborne. Here's Davis.
Once again, that drop coverage. They're going to allow Davis to be able to penetrate. That time, he pulled it back out instead of trying to attack.
Took a block. Great job there by Carr to stay away from the foul. Here's Miller way downtown. Picked off by Withers.
Wake Forest, who made 18 three-point field goals on Saturday versus Louisville. Only 3 made field goals in this game.
Davis getting his own shot. No. Keller rips away the rebound.
But that's the spot for RJ. If they're going to allow you to get to there, take that shot. He shoots 95% from the free throw line. We'll take his chances with shooting it right there.
Sallis backing away, had 1 foot on the line, can't stick it. Davis up ahead, got a runner. Withers in. He's fouled on the play by Sallis. That would have been some slam. That would have rocked this building. And it'll be foul number 1 on Sallis.
RJ Davis once again getting to his spot. You're talking about a 95% free throw shooter. He'll take his chances there. He wanted a foul on some contact on that possession, but that is the design of Steve Forbes of how they're going to guard RJ Davis. You see how dangerous he is and the way this building reacts when he knocks down a 3. They don't react the same way when he gets to those tough 2s.
Jalen Withers, the transfer from Louisville. Graduate, hometown Charlotte, in and out. Good foul shooter, 79%. Damari Monsanto coming back on the floor, the 3-point bombardier for the Demon Deacons. Had a couple of big ones in the first half. When he got hurt last year, just about a year ago, it was in February when he blew out the knee. He was leading the ACC in made threes. It was 13 points a game. He was becoming more and more dangerous.
And he had actually torn his Achilles the year prior, so was coming back, had dropped a lot of weight from the Achilles tear. Now you can see trying to get back into that type of conditioning, but I tell you what, the jump shot has not gone anywhere.
Hildreth will loft up a long one, and they're just not there tonight for the Demon Deacons. As a team, they hit 39%. Withers, one dribble down, inside for Washington to finish it.
That's another example of how this North Carolina team has grown. Jalen Washington giving the Tar Heels great minutes here off the bench.
Monsanto around and out. Goes inside the cylinder. North Carolina looking for a hammer strike. It's Davis again and draws the foul. RJ to the line. He stunned everybody by actually missing one in the first half. Makes 95%. And a foul on Keller.
I'll tell you what, you can't do any more than this. If you're Damari Monsanto, this pretty much goes in and finds its way back out. But for a guy that shoots it with his level of confidence, he's counting that as a make, OB. He's already hot. He's shooting the next one.
Davis already with 11 points in the second half, gave him 12. That's in about 7.5 minutes. So check this out. North Carolina tonight with that backcourt at work. Everybody else 20 points on 6 out of 19.
But Cadeau and Davis have done a great job attacking the paint. They haven't settled. They've been able to get to the rim, finish through contact often at times, but never allowing the size. And it's 2 big guys always on the floor for Wake Forest, but never allowing that size to deter.
Crowd rising up here at the Smith Center. Fredrickson can't get inside. Hildreth trying to penetrate. Washington will commit the foul. Stops the clock with 12:03. There was 9 to shoot it.
Check in with Angel Gray.
Hey guys, well, I was able to catch up with Steve Forbes at halftime, and despite RJ Davis having double figures, I asked him how did he feel about his team's ability to defend him in the first half. He said, listen, even though those are twos, we can't take everything away. 2 to 3 of those shots were big-time shots. That's the type of player that he is. He's leading the league in scoring for a reason, but coming out of halftime, he has blitzed them on so many different levels this season, guys.
He absolutely has, and if anyone knows about guys leading the ACC in scoring, it would be Steve Forbes, because he's actually had players do it in the last 2 seasons when you think of Alondes Williams as well as Tyree Appleby. So he's had 2 guys that can score the ball as Cormac Ryan knocks down a huge 3 right in front of his bench.
Wake Forest hasn't been able to buy one beyond that line. That's a big part of their offense.
It absolutely is, but I will be absolutely locked in on Thursday watching that. I can remember watching the matchup a season ago between South Carolina and LSU. When you look at this matchup tonight, Wake Forest 0 of 4 from the three-point line in this second half. North Carolina started out 0 for 8. It's been perfect here in the second stanza.
He's going down on his back, and the officials looking at each other here. Bert Smith and Roger Ayers. And it's a travel. So that's what they figured out in the end. 11:22 to go. And we have another timeout here. North Carolina with a 59-45 lead on Wake. An all-time Tar Heel, and there's one right there. Tyler Hansbrough, #1 all-time in scoring. Does some radio work for North Carolina.
Actually stepping in for filling the seat of our beloved brother Eric Montrose, who was lost in December. Tyler Hansbrough, one of the greatest careers in ACC history, the leading scorer in ACC history, 4-time All-American.
Unreal.
4-time first-team All-ACC.
3,000 points.
Yes.
Amazing. Sallis in the paint, and a foul by Trimble. It went for the block. Seth Trimble with #2. In the act of taking a shot. And so Sallis will be back to the line where Wake Forest has not been great tonight. Great foul shooting team. He has 12. They're 8 out of 11. Which for them isn't terrific, but Sallis to shoot 2. And their issues continue.
We showed the numbers earlier. They actually shoot a higher percentage from the free throw line at 84% than they do at home at 80%. But 8 of 12 tonight. I can figure that one out, Obi. That's 66.7%. That's easy math to be able to figure out.
IU Virginia, guys. 59-46. They're going to press a little bit. Davis, and now they'll pull it away. R.J. Davis working on a 26-point game. You said a couple of times in the first half he might have to get 30. He's on his way.
He's done it before.
Yes. This time, though, and it's tipped out. It'll stay on this end.
R.J. Davis, career high, 30 points, done it twice. Once against Baylor in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, and then earlier this season versus Arkansas in the Bahamas, went for 30. We could definitely see him create a new career high here this evening.
And for Ryan, catches, fires, no. Clark comes away with a rebound, the 6'10 senior. Demon Deacons have gone flat offensively. That has not been said very many times this season in the conference or out of it.
I think we got to give credit to North Carolina's defense. One thing we've talked about with them, even when the offense hasn't been great, they've done the job defensively. And once again, doing it here tonight, still yet to give up any fast break points. So this is the 3rd game in a row coming into this game. The last 2 games, 0 fast break points for their opponents. And Wake Forest has yet to score a fast break point.
We'll get R.J. Davis for 2nd foul. And again, Sallis to shoot. The Gonzaga transfer. It's an area where Steve Forbes, I think, could give lessons. He could give a master class on getting transfers to come to Wake Forest. High-end guys, high-end kids.
and young men that fit into the system. But if you start thinking about point guards, after Alondes Williams, after Tyree Appleby, Alondes Williams, ACC Player of the Year, Tyree Appleby, first team All-ACC, why would you not want to come play for Steve Forbes when you understand he's going to put the basketball in your hands, he's going to allow you to play free? That's one of the reasons he was able to get Hunter Sallis. He let him know, hey, listen, I'm going to allow you to come here and do what you do best, which is score the basketball and play with confidence, and you see how it's worked out for Hunter Sallis.
Ingram lines up a long one. Not there. Bacot with a rebound. And a very quiet night for Armando Bacot, but not for a fellow star in R.J. Davis. Cadeau on the penetration. And waved that one off. Interference on the cylinder, 59-47.
Bacot just hanging in the air, waiting for this one to come off. And it looks like it may have gone through as he grabs the rim. Taking away that basket.
Wake Forest has missed their last 7 shots, Corey. Coming up on 10 minutes to go here. Lupe Miller using the body, left it short.
I love that no call on that because it was Miller that created all the contact. Cadeau did a great job defensively holding his ground.
Hildreth with the foul before the shot, so no basket there. I think the other aspect of the North Carolina personality that we should talk about is their ability to grind opponents down and grind out wins. That's beginning to happen here at this stage of the game.
And that's what happened for them at Boston College on Saturday. It wasn't a pretty win. However, every win is effective when you think about the fact that this team is undefeated in ACC play as R.J. Davis once again attacks the paint and is able to finish amongst the trees.
Give him 28. Wake had a 1-point lead at the break without a field goal in over 5 minutes against this Carolina defense. Miller to the baseline, a travel. And a turnover here for the Demon Deacons.
And that's been the thing that has hampered the Demon Deacons in their road losses in ACC play. 17 turnovers against Florida State, 20 against NC State, and their only 2 losses this year on the road.
Turn it over 5 times. Nothing outrageous there, but every one of them the rest of the way, given the score, is going to hurt.
Yeah, that's a number that Steve Forbes would be happy with right now if they were making shots. The struggle has been from beyond the three-point arc.
Davis floats it up. Another one. He's got a bag of tricks.
He absolutely does, and that's 30. So now we see where he's going tonight. Will there be a new career high for R.J. Davis?
Hildreth lost it, got it back, and it'll spin around and roll in. And Hildreth with a basket. He has 10 points tonight. 63-49, North Carolina. Carolina unbeaten at home at 8-0. Number 3 team in the country behind UConn and Purdue. Davis and he's looking for a new career high. Would have gotten it with that basket. They get Reed out front and a block. It's Bacot against his old teammate. Cadeau swings it. Ryan to the paint with a turnaround. Sticks it.
That's nice. Great footwork by Cormac Ryan, getting into the paint, allowing his defender to go by, then shooting the fadeaway. And you can see the experience showing of North Carolina down the stretch.
And a foul with 8:01 on the clock. And Cormac Ryan's down. Foul on Hildreth.
We've seen that a number of times this season. Cormac Ryan down on the ground with a turned ankle. Missed a game earlier in the season.
Take a look at that foot.
Ryan sliding his feet, doing a great job defensively. But you see the right ankle roll as he steps on Cameron Hildreth's foot. Check on the quarterback.
Yeah. 65-49 Carolina. More in a moment.
Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 is
take those ankles.
Absolutely. R.J. Davis going into his bag, getting into his mid-range looks. The cross again. The hands up a little bit to Hezzy, And then, of course, as much as I hate to say it, a floater. Even though he has made a living in the paint tonight to the tune of 30 points, tying his career high, and I got the feeling that he is not done yet, OB.
Got 8 minutes to get the new career high. 12 of 20 shooting it, 2 out of 5 from the three-point line. North Carolina leading at 65 to 49. Came in expecting a really good test from Wake Forest at 13-5. So all the way through to lay that one in. And when he sees just a little sliver of an opening, he is all over it.
And Steve Forbes talked about how fast Elliot Cadeau was in shoot-around earlier today. And Cadeau playing a very mature floor game, but finding the time to pick his spots to be a scorer and a facilitator.
Sallis, Ingram on him. Andrew Carr trying to lean inside to his left. That was well done. And 10 points for the 6'10 senior.
And a great move by Carr on that possession. However, at this point, twos aren't going to get you back into the game against North Carolina, especially when you can't do anything with Harrison Ingram on the block. North Carolina playing big now with Ingram at the 3, and he's going to have an advantage regardless of who's guarding him down there.
Tar Heels trying to go to 16-3, 8-0 in the ACC. Only undefeated team in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Frederickson off the dribble, gives it up here for Sallis. Shot clock is down to 5 for Wake. He's got to get it in the air around Baycott, will spin it in.
Great individual move by Sallis on that possession, but give Armando Baycott credit stepping out and guarding Sallis step for step, making him have to take a tough shot to beat him.
McBrien went down, gripping that lower leg, is now ready to check back in for Hubert Davis. Ingram on the back down, the one-hander.
Too easy. And just looks over to the bench and just gives the he's too small signal to his bench. And again, we saw Hunter Sallis do that earlier, so it's 1-for-1 right now, and they're too small. They can't guard me, OB.
Wake Forest just trading baskets right now. They can't do that. Under 6 minutes to go here at Chapel Hill. Carr again. Strong move, but he's denied. Baycott comes over. It's going to be off of North Carolina, but shot clock a factor now at 4.3. You talked about too small.
Yeah, OB, this is your guy right here. You rave about Harrison Ingram and all that he brings to this team, and he just runs back, letting his teammates know he's too small. And then, in case you didn't believe me on the first time, I'll show you again, he's too small.
Frederickson off the inbounds, well short. Ingram's been such a great fit. You talk about moves made, out of the portal. He might be #1 in college basketball this season. Baycott with the tip, gets it to go.
But that's the second time Cadeau recognizes he can't drop it off to Baycott. Just get it as high as you can off the glass. If you don't make the shot, Baycott's going to clean it up.
And North Carolina moving into blowout mode here. The shove from behind by Baycott, trying to slow down Efton Reed. His first foul. And a 20-point lead for the Tar Heels. They look unstoppable. Wednesday, the Huddle Crew will reveal this season's ACC football schedule. They'll break down each team, including new members Cal, Stanford, and SMU. And look at key weeks and big matchups. Our coverage of a 2-hour special beginning at 5 Eastern on ACC Network, ESPN2, and ESPN app.
I am looking forward to Cal, to Stanford, to SMU joining the ACC. Oh, you think we're going to be making some cross-country trips?
So you are already the Miles King. The people at Delta are like, here he comes again. Here comes Corey. One more time across the country. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, it's my people, though. It's my people.
They love you at Delta. Reed on the line. Makes it 73-55. Davis into the offensive zone, where he's been a huge star tonight.
RJ Davis, father Rob was a 2,000-point scorer in college. RJ's asked our producer Kim up today, could he really play? Asking about his own dad, could he really play? Because he tells me all the time about how good he was. But RJ is one of those guys who could walk away from the University of North Carolina as a 2,000-point scorer. Also has the ability to be able to come back next year for a fifth season.
Sendo and off the iron. He's got that shooter's roll. 73-55. Carolina trying to rip off a 9th consecutive victory. Here's Davis. Davis 30 points. He has tied his career high tonight. Shot clock to 9. Bacon. Ingram lines it up. And he's hit. Fouled by Carr. And the act of shooting a three-pointer. So 3 shots coming here for Harrison Ingram. Fouled by Carr. Picks up number 3. And Harrison a little bit shaken up. Former McDonald's All-American, coming from Stanford.
He provides so much versatility for this North Carolina team. His ability to play the 3, to play the 4, strong enough to rebound. Double-double against Boston College, 11.13 rebounds last time out. But he's that guy that just does whatever you need him to do to win a game. Hubert Davis loves having Harrison Ingram in the lineup, as well as a guy like Cormac Ryan, the experience, and Jalen Withers. The experience that you get with these guys being on the floor has been tremendous coming in this year. He said it's almost like these guys have been here for 4 years.
Give him 11 points. Actually, it's going to be a lane violation, so he wound up with 2.
But Harrison smiles about it. No big deal.
He does play that way. Plays with a lot of joy. Has a great time out there. Always has a smile on his face.
Speaking of joy, Angel Gray brings the joy to our – Angel, you got something for us?
I have a few things, but I do want to settle on Cormac Ryan and what he brings to UNC. Hubert Davis said he's the toughness that this squad needed, and the only negative about him is that they can only have him for 1 year. I was talking to a couple of the players, including RJ Davis, and he said this guy has 2 personalities. He's smiling at you 1 minute, and he's challenging you on the other end. Defensively, he is the communicator. He holds everyone accountable, and he is much needed for them this season.
That's kind of how Angel is for us, right?
No doubt.
She's yelling at us, get in the car.
That's okay.
You know, I came downstairs a couple minutes late today. She was yelling at me all the way to the
More than a couple, but we're okay. We got here.
I thought me and you were on the same team, Obi.
I'm just holding us accountable, guys. I want us to be great.
You know what?
The we.
That's it. It's always the we with Angel. Respect that.
Sallis at the line with 4:06 remaining, 17 points. So just about at his average. If he sinks this one, he'll be there at 18. And he does.
And Sallis has been impressive in this game. He's really the only one that's been able to get anything going offensively for the Demon Deacons. Ruby Miller, who averages over 17 points per game, also only 4 points for him. So give North Carolina a lot of credit defensively for doing the job once again. And Wake Forest with 57 points, looking to be that next contestant that does not score over 70 points against them in the ACC.
Shot clock at 5. Davis lofts up a 3. Rebound tipped a couple of times by Ingram. And it'll stay right here. That was when Ingram was asking Ron Groover. Was it tipped out by Wake Forest? He makes another play. 75-57. North Carolina rolling.
This new show.
Jay Will, top of the hour. Hunter Dickinson, number 7, Kansas, hosting Cincinnati. Look for Cincinnati to utilize him in ball screens. Let's see if he's still in drop coverage, Seth.
Ooh, I think he'll be in drop coverage. He better put a body on someone, because I'll tell you one thing, Cincinnati, they're going to get to the glass.
They're going to get to the glass. This is what we do, Obi, as a team. All 3 of us chiming in on a tease bump. Back to you.
Gents, thank you very much. 3:37 to go. Davis has had a big night with 30 points to lead number 3 North Carolina. They were down by a point at halftime. No trouble in the second half, though, for the Heels.
I'm shocked RJ Davis is still in the game. And I don't expect to see him in there much longer, which means that he needs to get to business here.
Illegal screen here. They'll go on Ingram. And you're talking about the connection these guys have with each other. And this is something that Steve Forbes talked about At his practice today, he said you can tell they like each other. They really get along well.
And not only that, OB, the guys that Harrison Ingram is dapping up on the sidelines, those are guys that would be getting minutes if he weren't here. So when you see Zayden Hop, you see Jalen Washington standing up and those guys dapping him up, you can tell that it's about the team. It's not about me, it's about we. And you're seeing these guys right now. Harrison Ingram takes minutes away from everyone sitting on that bench, but they love what he's doing for their team on the floor.
Ryan got popped in the mouth by Boopy Miller. He picks up a foul, his first, so it'll be Ryan to the line. Another excellent foul shooter for North Carolina, 91% for the 25-year-old.
Had a chance to meet Cormac Ryan's parents at our last game here. Talked to them. Told them how Cormac did me when we were doing our fast breaks at Media Day. He gave me a pat on the rear, which kind of threw me off, a little surprising. I just had to cut the break. I was done at that point. Had to regroup.
Good interview.
Great interview. I mean, young man is unbelievable to talk to. Angel had a chance to talk with him earlier today. And again, as his teammate said, he smiles, he's mannerable, he's polite, but when he gets on that court, he's as tough as they get.
Different guy. Obviously exceedingly bright. Stanford, Notre Dame, North Carolina.
Yeah, and he's got, let's see, he's got his MBA and his undergrad from Notre Dame. And the courses he's taking here, he doesn't feel like he will be able to finish in 1 year, but he's such a smart guy. He may actually come back to school as we see RJ with the 33 now, the new career high. Knocking down the 3 ball. But I would not be surprised if Cormac comes back to North Carolina and gets another degree.
Well, it's been R.J. Davis's night with 33 Regal. Hook it. And a whistle and a foul. 2:11 to go. North Carolina getting to familiar ground. 80 points. Thanks to number 4, Davis, with the triple here.
And that's the second time we've seen the double crossover. This time we don't see the double crossover to the hezzy to get to the rim for the floater. We see the pull-up game from beyond the 3-point arc. RJ knocking down another big bucket and a new career high for RJ Davis, 33 points. We had a feeling he was going to have a big scoring night. Steve Forbes simply said, hey, we can't allow these guys to stand around and make threes. We got to force them to take tough twos, which they did in the first half. However, RJ exploded in this second half. 21 second half points for him to be able to establish a new career high.
Missed a couple of shots early, I mean right away, but like all great players, kept on shooting. He sensed he was going to have a night like this, or needed to. Nearly stolen away. Cadeau comes away with it. Approaching the 2-minute mark, and all North Carolina. And again, against a Demon Deacons team that was hopeful of giving them a test and had the lead at halftime. Wake Forest, by the way, their season low is 66 points. 61 right now. Cadeau penetrating, can't lay down. Sallis will swing from Miller. It's going to be a big story. They just didn't hit him. Here's Cadeau. He will lay down.
That's all right. We'll give him a break. He's played hard. He's had to expend a lot of energy guarding Boopy Miller in this one, so I'll give him a break on not dunking that.
And North Carolina really enjoying themselves in this second half. It was tight at the break. North Carolina ran away in the second half against a team playing really good basketball inside the ACC, but nobody at the moment is playing the caliber of basketball in this conference that North Carolina is.
Well, R.J. Davis, a career high 33 points, OB, but how about Harrison Ingram? Wait a minute, 36 for R.J., forgive me.
36 for R.J.
Harrison Ingram with 10 points and 14 rebounds, second double-double in the last 2 games. Back-to-back double-doubles for Harrison Ingram.
And you talk about running away in the second half. Still 44 seconds to go, but North Carolina has outscored Wake Forest since halftime, 52-27.
And R.J. R.J. Davis just catch and shoot, knocking it down. Jalen Washington will check in as the crowd chants R.J.
It has to sound awfully sweet to the senior from White Plains, New York.
Well, we got to get somebody to the table. We need a sub for RJ. We need to hear this ovation as Seth Trimble comes to the table. There he goes.
Well, he was phenomenal tonight. And a new career high, 36 points, 23 of them coming in the second half when they really needed him because they were down by 1 at halftime. 85 points for the Heels, and they're going to hold another opponent below 70 points. And during the course of this winning streak, which will now reach 9 consecutive games, nobody scored more than 7 against Carolina. 23 seconds to go. An award-winning performance. A rewarding performance from Capital One.
And it's been R.J. Davis from the beginning, attacking the paint, picking his spots in transition and in the half court. The handles, the mid-range game, and of course adding 4 threes throughout this one to be the backbreaker of the Demon Deacons to start this second half.
And Cadeau will have another one. Might have another one coming. Here's Miller out front and fouled from behind. 36 points. A new career high for R.J. Davis. With 20 seconds to go. We've still got Cincinnati and Kansas to come. We're taking it to Lawrence in just a moment. Miller at the line. He'll be shooting 2, 86% for the sophomore out of Chicago. And makes the first. North Carolina to improve to 16-3 and 8-0 in the ACC. Whoopi Miller's second. North Carolina can run it out here, and they run their way to an impressive victory from down a point at halftime. And they will knock off Wake Forest and knock the Demon Deacons to 5-3 in the ACC as North Carolina stays perfect inside conference play, and they are rocking and rolling.
Rightfully so. An impressive performance.